So I was so ready to rip this movie to pieces. I really thought that I was just gonna be shredding every movie that I see lately. And surprisingly, this one was actually pretty good. Wait. Oh, there we go. All right, cool. God damn it. I hate when these suits malfunction. Well, let's go ahead and jump into the movie review.
I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree.
So for those of you who don't know what The Invisible Man's about, it's basically a woman being stalked by her ex-boyfriend who has an invisible suit, and he's doing everything in his power to make her feel like she's crazy and not let anyone else know that he's around.
He said that wherever I went, he would find me, walk right up to me, and I wouldn't be able to see him.
I will give you a spoiler alert when you need to stop the video if you plan on seeing this movie. So the acting was really good. The main actress needed to do a lot to make this movie believable, and I feel like she pulled that off well. She needed to fight an invisible person every now and then. She did a great job. Besides the fact that she kind of looks like the grown-up version of the little girl from Hereditary, I just couldn't get it out of my head the whole movie. Second of all, there's a cop in this movie with a daughter. She ends up moving in with him, and I recognized him immediately from one of the episodes of Black Mirror from Netflix. And the acting in that show was really good. So as soon as I saw this guy, I thought to myself, okay, cool. The acting I feel like was on par pretty much for everybody that played a part in this film. So as far as the production quality of this, when I was sitting in the movie theater, I didn't know this at the time, but when it came up on the screen and I saw Blumhouse Productions, I got excited because that's the production company responsible for The Conjuring, Insidious, like all those crazy scary movies, and they typically do a really good job on visuals. Doesn't matter if the movie sucks that they make, the visuals are always very pleasing. So when I saw that pop up in the beginning of the movie, I was like, okay, great, at least I know that the production quality is gonna be there. It's hard to make certain scenes look the way that they look when you're fighting an invisible person. I mean, green screen stuff, I get it, but still, nonetheless, they did a good job at making everything look believable and realistic. So when there was any kind of CGI on screen, it didn't feel like it was a video game versus a movie. It felt like the CGI fit perfectly with the movie, so everything just flowed together smooth. As far as the script goes, I feel like it was a well-written remake. This movie took more of a horror turn, and when things actually started to pick up, it got really interesting.
Are you okay?
He's sitting in that chair.
A lot of times when there's a slow build-up in a movie, there's not really a climax that satisfies you if you just sat for like an hour, hour and a half watching something slow. I would say this movie probably takes about 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes to actually start picking up, and then the second half of the movie is pretty much action from that point on. It was very entertaining once it started hitting those climax points, and then it stayed on track all the way to the end of the movie. Really good plot twist, really good ending and stuff going on. I went and saw it and I didn't feel unsatisfied by the end of the movie. So if you do want to see this in movie theaters, I would stop the video now because I am about to talk about the plot twists. So the movie starts out with this woman trying to escape from underneath the arm of her sleeping boyfriend or husband or whatever.
Adrian?
And at this point in the movie, we know nothing about their past, about their history. All we know is that the house she's trying to escape from is like Iron Man's house. This guy's got a lot of money, you can tell he's powerful, and she's trying to escape. She's got her passport and everything in the bag. She's trying to run away. As her friend is picking her up, he comes out, smashes the window in the car. He's like, "You can't leave me." They speed off.
Are you okay?
She finds a new place to relocate for a little while with a friend of hers who's actually a police officer, and he's a single father living with his daughter.
Listen, you're getting your freedom back, okay?
So she stays with them and she's all paranoid. He's gonna find me. She's looking out the windows all the time. She's afraid to go outside and check the mail. Obviously, this guy did bad things to her to put her in this mindset.
He controlled how I looked and what I wore. Then it was controlling when I left the house.
We find out later that he told her, "If you ever leave me, I will find a way to be around you at all times, but you will never see me." But then she receives a letter in the mail from her ex's brother, who's now like the power of attorney for him because he apparently committed suicide.
What happened to him? Adrian is dead.
So now she goes to see the brother, and he's basically telling her, listen, it's in his will that I give you $5 million. So now she's thinking life is golden, right? She's got all this guy's cash, got all his money. She just ran away from him, made him commit suicide. Now life is looking pretty good until... Then you realize, okay, he's actually still here, or he's in the house with her. I'm not gonna lie, the whole time that I was watching this, it was in the back of my mind, this is probably the guy's brother that's still alive that found the suit that's trying to with her now.
Adrian is dead.
I got this movie figured out. I got it figured out. That's what I was thinking. This is the brother hunting her down now, trying to drive her crazy because she's the reason that his brother committed suicide. So why not? I'm gonna make her life a living hell. Makes sense to me. So as the movie goes on, in the beginning, it starts with little things moving around. He's just trying to make her like feel crazy. But eventually he gets tired and he starts getting aggressive. And that's when the movie really picks up. So she's having a conversation with the police officer's daughter, and they're sitting in this room together like across from each other, Indian style. And the invisible man just punches the little girl in the face like out of nowhere. And I'm not trying to laugh about that because it's not funny. It's not funny. But the way that it happened in the movie, it was like you knew that this woman, the main character, is right now. This girl's dad is a cop. There's nobody else in the room. The little girl just got punched. She starts screaming, crying, grabbing her nose, saying to her dad, hey, she just punched me in the face. Things like that start happening to her a lot. So she gets kicked out of this place that she's living in. She asks to meet up with her sister in a public place because she thinks in a public place she'll be safe. So they're sitting at the dinner table.
He's not dead. He has figured out a way to be invisible.
This was actually a really cool scene. There was other people in the movie theater. I heard a lot of reactions from the crowd around me. Some people were like, oh. She's sitting across the table from her sister now, trying to tell her sister about the suit that this guy has, and he's found a way to make himself invisible. A knife just slowly is floating between them, and the sister sees it, and the knife just slices the sister's throat and then slaps in the girl's hand sitting across the table within like 3 seconds. So now the girl's sitting there with the knife in her hand and her sister's throat is slit. Women are screaming, people are yelling for help, and she's sitting there with a knife in her hand. There is no way for her to prove that the invisible suit guy just did this. So it looks like she just killed her sister in cold blood. It was a pretty crazy moment in the movie because there was a lot of moments that you did not expect to happen when they happened. So now she gets locked up in this like insane asylum, whatever.
Let me help you.
The sneaky snake brother shows up and she's like, I know he's been stalking me and I know this and that. And the brother's kind of acting oblivious. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then he finally breaks down and he's like, listen, he knows that you're pregnant and he wants you back. You're carrying his baby. He can make all this go away. All you have to do is say yes, call him on the phone. She's like, no. So she comes up with her own plan. And her plan is she knows that if this is her ex-boyfriend actually following her and stalking her, and she's pregnant right now with his baby, he's not gonna let her injure herself or the baby. So she attempts suicide while she's in the room by herself. He grabs her, and then she's like, there you are, and starts stabbing.
Surprise.
When the security guard comes in because he hears the commotion, his suit is now malfunctioning. It's blinking on and off. He's running down the hallway. He's fucking up police.
You can't help me.
It was a really, really cool, dramatic action scene, and I liked it a lot. The graphics, special effects, everything in that part was just dope. So he runs out of the jail or the insane asylum, whatever it is. She ends up grabbing a gun and chasing him, like waves the gun at like 4 cops on the way out, like fucking get the back. I don't really know if that's how it would happen. If they saw a hallway full of dead cops and there's this woman running around in scrubs with a gun, all hands on deck, shoot at will. She would be dead in the street. Dead as But apparently she gets by all that stuff and chases this invisible man out into the rain now. He says that I am going to kill everyone that you love. I can't hurt you. You're holding my child. Long story short, she ends up going back to the cop's house where the little girl is because she knows he wants to hurt the little girl and he's gonna go there. And she ends up killing him. She ends up spraying him with a fire hydrant, gets him all covered in powder, shoots him like 4 or 5 times in the chest. And when she removes the bodysuit, she sees that it is the lawyer snake brother. At this moment in time, part of me was a little bit disappointed because I was thinking to myself, that's kind of what I expected this whole time, and now the movie's gonna end and I am not gonna feel satisfied. Wrong. So the movie continues. Police, the SWAT teams, everybody, they go to her ex-boyfriend's house, even though he apparently committed suicide. And they find the ex-boyfriend hog-tied and zip-tied with tape over his mouth, screaming, and basically he plays it off like my brother did all this. He kept me hostage here, he stole my suit, he faked my death, and he's the one responsible for everything. However, the main actress knew deep down that that was a lie because she had heard his voice sometimes in the movie. She heard him say surprise to her once. She knows that he is a master manipulator. This guy is extremely intelligent. She knows that he finds his way out of everything, and he's going to find his way out of this too. And the only way that she's ever going to be safe is if she stops him somehow. So she decides to go to the house and meet up with him, calls him, hey, I want to talk. They have dinner together. So while they're having dinner, you can tell that she's totally trying to get him to confess what he's done. In your mind, you're thinking, I know she's wearing a wire, because it's very obvious the way that she's saying things. If you want to start fresh, just tell me that you were involved and I'll let you be a part of your son's life. I just need to hear you say it. But this guy is way too smart for that. So he's like, nah, I don't know what you're talking about. And she continues trying to push the subject. Why won't you just admit to me what you've done? I'll be able to forgive you if you're honest. All those things when you're trying to get someone to say the truth. And then they have like a little heartfelt moment. She's crying and he's like, you know that I know you better than you think. Surprise. And she recognized him saying surprise from when he said it earlier when he was around her in the suit.
Where are you? Show yourself!
Surprise.
So she says she's going to the bathroom to freshen herself up because she was crying, but she actually knows where his invisible suit is in the house. So while he thinks she's going to the restroom, she actually goes and finds the invisible suit, puts it on, and while he's eating his dinner, cutting his little steak, he has security cameras all over his house, and through the security camera you see him lift his knife and slit his own throat, and then he falls to the floor. She comes out of the bathroom, starts screaming, calls 911, my ex-boyfriend just tried to kill himself, I think he's dying, I think he's dying. And she's smart enough that she knows where the security cameras are in the house, and when she takes a couple steps back and gets out of the view of one of the cameras, she goes from frantic on the phone with 911 to calm as hell, just hangs up the phone, sits down and just starts staring at him while he's bleeding out and says, surprise. It was really cool. It was a good ending for a pretty good movie. If you're looking for something to see this weekend and you want something that's a little bit suspenseful, thriller-like, give it a shot. So if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button down below, subscribe, stay tuned. We got more cool content coming. Every Thursday we got new scary videos coming out and they are getting really twisted and crazy at this point. So I hope you guys enjoy these videos. I will catch you later. Peace.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to check us out on Instagram at MindSeed TV, and also take a look at season 2 of Hunting Purgatory, where we explore haunted locations in an attempt to communicate with the other side. Leave a comment below if you enjoy this type of content from us, and be sure to subscribe. Thanks and have a great day.